So I've laid my game plan out on my map chart that I can take around with me. I'm going to run up and talk to the guys at Sodium, get John's opinion, John and Casey's opinion there at Sodium. I'm going to call my good friend Jeremiah Carlucci, who's a longtime guide here, get a little intel from him. And getting intel from fishing buddies is very necessary. Lots of times that's the latest information. And then lastly, based off what I have for tide and weather on my game plan, I'm going to transfer some of that information here so I know exactly where I want to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take stop number 1. I'm going to put a waypoint on here so that I know I'm going to run to that one first. And by putting those waypoints on there, I already have a visual plan right here that I can look at when I'm running. And I can take the known paths that I've already established that are safe and hit those so that I can run. And that way, if I'm running over water that I'm not so clear on, I can take my time to get to those spots. So let's show you what we're looking at right here. So my first spot on the Raymarine is right here at Long Point. So I'm going to press and hold. I'm not going to build a route there because here you can't really build a route without knowing the spots. And you can see I've already got established trails here. So I'm just going to place a waypoint there. That way I know that I want to try that one first. So waypoint 16, I'm going to type in here Long Point. And that's stop 1. So I'm going to save that. All right. Okay. Usually I'll put it in my sort program so it's for Crystal River and I know where I'm going. Then I'm going to move to stop 2, which is going to be way over here. Right here at Sandy Hook and Mullet Key. So I'm going to press and hold there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a waypoint there. And then in place of that, so I know where I'm going, I'm going to put Sandy Hook. You can see where I'm going with this. Save. Okay. So by putting these waypoints there where I know where I'm going, that's stop 2, Long Point was stop 1, and so on. I'm not going to take up the whole time doing that. That way you understand your established paths that show you where you can run, and then you can go right to those zones and fish them. You know, I've got all kinds of spots in here, but that's going to be spot 3, number 2. And then when I move all the way back into these creeks, there's Crystal River, so I'm going to move into the back of all these creeks back here in Dixie Bay, all these spots in here. Let's just say, for number's sake, let's just say I'm going to stop right there, and that's going to be stop 3 in the back of the creek. And now I've got these established spots that I want to fish. So at least now I have a plan. I have my weather considerations, I have my tide considerations, I have 3 solid stops that I know I want to make and fish at least, if not that particular spot, that particular zone based off what tide and wind will give me. The only thing I need to add to this is a little bit of intel by asking a few questions to some of the other guides. Hey, have you noticed this? Are you seeing bird life here? Have you noticed that these fish, they don't even have to be the same species. If someone says, oh man, I'm seeing a lot of sheep's head and a lot of bonnethead sharks out here at Long Point. Well, guess what? They eat the same things that redfish eat. So that'll give me a clue right there. Oh no, I'm seeing a lot of bait out here. I'm seeing a lot of glass minnows and stuff. That'll give me a clue that for sure there's going to be ladyfish and jacks in my plan B plan, but that type of intel also lets me know that there's an opportunity to catch snook and trout there as well. So those little pieces of information, along with your game plan, along with your tide considerations and your weather considerations, are going to give you something to work from without shooting from the hip and just going out there and not knowing what you want to do on what tide height. So let's wrap this up in the next section in what you really need to know.